What is up, guys, and welcome to Developer Habits, a YouTube channel for software engineers about growth mindset, developer lifestyle, and technical tutorials. My name is Ketmar, I'm a full stack developer from Estonia, and today I'm going to be solving a small challenge from frontendmentor.io. If you don't know what frontendmentor.io is, then basically it's a community-based service where you can improve or test your front-end coding skills by building real projects. It works by giving you different designs that you can just take on and build those designs using your front-end skills. When you're ready, you upload your solution and the community will provide some feedback. The solutions are also available for others to see so you can learn from others. For example, here's the example of a solution of this challenge that we're going to be solving today. And with that said, let's get started. So the challenge we're going to be solving is called um, 4 card section challenge, I guess. It's one of the easiest ones, and you can find it if you go to frontendmentor.io. Challenges, select free and newbie, and view challenge 4 card feature section. So now I'm going to download all the files and set it up in the editor. So now I have all the files downloaded and I have included in my VS Code editor. What we have here is, well, a style guide file. So now I have downloaded all the necessary files and I've set it up in my editor. What we have here is a style guide.md, which has all the basic colors and the width of the designs and also the font link. We also have a readme for, well, about the challenge, where to find everything, building the project. Okay, so this is not about the development part. Then we have the HTML for the base, or the HTML basic template with texts. We have images for the cards, okay, and we have the designs. So desktop design and mobile design. Cool. Okay. Um, Before I usually get started, I'd like to go through and think what's the structure or basic structure of my website or project going to be. And in that case, we just have to build a simple HTML static page which has 4 cards. And I can already see that there are 2 main sections. The first one is the header section, and the second one is the card section. And the card section can be divided into 3 columns. So one column, second column, and third column. Inside the columns, the content should be vertically aligned center. And inside mobile design, all the cards are just vertically stacked. So what we can do first is just design or write HTML for this basic structure. And this is exactly what I'm going to do now. So I'm gonna uncomment the text at the moment. So what we're gonna have, We also need to have some kind of container to center the content of the page. So we're gonna have a container, and we're gonna have inside the container we're gonna have a header, and you can see I'm applying class header for header. It's just I'm used to using classes whenever I can, so I can have a more consistent way of targeting HTML elements in CSS or JavaScript. Um, so inside header we have h1, we also have h2, although actually I would say the first one is h2 because it's not bold, and also we have a paragraph tag underneath. So after header we have a card section. Actually we can use the tag section here, and it's called cards, and inside we have 3 columns. So column, and inside column we can have a cards. The cards can have a title. um I guess it would make sense to use h3 maybe. Okay, let's use h3 for the cards, and span for the content of the cards. And in the end there's also this icon. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna use card content class, and inside card content there will be texts, and I'm also gonna have div class card image wrapper. Yep, maybe I'm making it too complex, but let's see. So card content will be that part with the texts, so that part, and beneath we will have a card image. Actually I think we don't need that image, so image wrapper, so I'm gonna drop it. I'm just gonna set it to image, like that. Cool. And this card should be duplicated. No, actually the column should be duplicated. So I'm gonna make 3 columns, and one of the columns will have 2 cards inside. I'm also gonna copy all the texts now. Just to make our lives easier. So as you can see, I'm setting up all this HTML as much as possible. I'm probably gonna change it, but it's still, in my opinion, planning things ahead is a good way to just go through the project you are going to build. Yep, this is the cool part. Okay, Now we have our basic structure ready. Uh, let's see. Yay, we have content. So now we can start. Oh, and we also need to import the font, which we can do from Google. And the font is already, like the link for the font is already in the style guide. So we can just go to Google Fonts, select the necessary styles. We need extra light, we need regular, and we need semi-bold. And we can embed it easily. And another thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a graph for our style file, which I'm about to create. So yep. Now we also have our style sheet linked, but we don't have a style sheet file, so let's create it. Yep, cool. Now we have the HTML for our project, and I can delete that commented text. And now let's start styling. Firstly, what we can do, we can set the global things like background color, default font, and default text color. And we're gonna do it by applying those styles to the body tag. So firstly, font family will be the one we got from Google called Poppins. Then we're gonna have background color, which will be from style guides. I assume it's the very light gray. So that one. And also the text or text color will be, let's set it to this dark color here. Color. And then we can start styling our HTML. So firstly, what we can do is center the container. And for that, I need to know how big or what's the width of the container. So I'm gonna open the design in browser. I usually use design tools for that, but for the sake of this demo, I'm gonna show everything with primitive tools. So I'm using you, Max screenshot tool for that to measure pixels. Okay, and the container seems to be like 1110 pixels more or less. So let's center the container. It will have a width of auto. Max width will be 1110 pixels. This is maximum width it can occupy. And we're gonna center it by having margin and margin left and margin auto. No, margin left and margin right to auto. Cool. And I guess we also need some margin top. So the margin top will be, let's set it to 90 pixels. And actually I'm going to do it like that. So the vertical margin will be 90 pixels and horizontal ones will be auto. Cool. We already have some kind of structure. Now we can move on to the header. And with header, what do we have? Do we have anything to do with the header? Let's style the text for header. dot header h1 will be font weight 600. Actually, first I'm gonna style the both of the header texts that have bigger font size. So let's set it to, I don't know, font size 36 because we don't have the font sizes in the design file, but it seems more or less the same. The font size will be 36 pixels. For header, I'm gonna set font no font size 36. Okay, and what we need to do is set font weight for both of those fonts. So I'm going to I'm gonna set font weight to, what was it, 200 will be the default, and I will override font weight with 600 for h1. Yay, it worked. I'm gonna move the margins from all the headers and set width to 100%, so they will always be on a new line. That seems to be correct already. So my vertical spacing between the lines is 30 pixels and it has to be 25. Well, visually it's more or less the same, but I'd say the text in the design is a bit more dense, so I'm gonna add letter spacing -1 pixel. What does it do? Yeah, now it looks more like in the design. Another thing I didn't do is apply text align center. So now we have our texts in center, and we also need a breakpoint for the header. Whoops. Okay, that's cool. And now we also need styles for the header paragraph tag. Well, the font is a bit smaller, so let's set it to, I don't know, 14 maybe. Yep, seems cool. And style guide, I guess the color is grayish blue. Yeah, it looks visually more or less the same. Although I guess the color for H2 should be that gray color. So I'm gonna do some color changing also. No, no, I was wrong. So now we have the header section ready. Now what we need to do is build the columns I was talking about. Columns. So how I see there are two main ways we can achieve that. Firstly, we can use flex or we can use grid. With flex, mm, I mean, with grid, it's I guess easier because we can have those column gaps here, and it's really easy to create three columns where it's also straightforward with flex, but it requires more manual work. We also need to align items vertically, the cards. Okay, how does the mobile design look like? It's just cards stacked. Okay, I'm just gonna go with grids because it seems more straightforward at the moment. But let's see how will it go. So we have the card section. I'm gonna give it also some margin 65 from top and bottom, and display will be grid, and grid template columns will be one fragment, one fragment, one fragment, so three equal fragments. The columns will have some column cap. Okay, let's make it 35 pixels. Grid column gap will be 35 pixels. Grid template columns. Yay, we have our columns. And align items center. Yes, now the cards are centered. Okay. Then we need to style the cards, correct? So the spacing between cards will be the same as it is, or vertical spacing between cards will be the same as grid column cap, which is 35 pixels. So I'm gonna just add margin bottom 35 pixels. When you had two cards vertically stacked, then they have 35 pixels between each other. Um, how do the cards look like? Okay, inside the card we could um, yeah, I guess we don't need to use anything special here. We just have cards. The background color is white. The border radius, I don't know, but around 10 pixels. Then we have the border on top. Okay, we'll get to that. But the box shadow also. Now, I've been using, for box shadow generating, I've been using this really cool tool. And I'm gonna do it here also. So I can visually see what my box shadow will look like. As I don't have these styles, I'm just gonna play around with the tool itself to make it more or less uh, similar to what our cards need to have. Okay, what does it look like now? Yay! Oh, we also need some padding for the cards, yeah. So it will be, okay, let's say 30 pixels from the sides. From top it will be, okay, let's make it 35. From the other side, just to check, I assume it's 30. It's about 30. And from the bottom it will be about 30. So from the top it's 35. So 35 and 30 pixels. Um, okay, we also need to set the width for the card. It will 100% of its parent. And we also need to apply box sizing, border box, so that the padding, if I don't apply box sizing, then this is what happens, because the width of the card is bigger than 100%. But with box sizing, padding will be part of that width 100%. Um, 30 pixels. Okay, like that. Do the cards have the same width at the moment? So card is 3, 4, 5, and my card is 3, 4, 5. Cool. So what do we have? We have H3s. So cards H3 font weight, just to make sure that browser default settings don't interfere with our styles. I'm gonna overwrite them. Font size seems like 18, I guess. And the span for card span will be, well, it has this light color, grayish blue color, and font size is smaller than 14, because the if we look at the design, the paragraph is bigger than the card text. So I'm going to use font size 12 pixels. Okay, seems cool. Margin bottom for H3 will be 0. Actually, let's make it 10 pixels so it's not 0. Yeah, and we have our cards. Margin top for the card header will be 0. Yep. Now we need the headers for the cards. Okay, let's try with border radius. Border radius, no, border top, border lop, border top, border top. So it will be a solid line. 3 pixels, and we're gonna use a color from the primary colors. And as you can see, it has this curve here, but in the design it's just a straight border. And what we want to achieve is the same thing as the design. I'm not sure if there is a way to do it with just a border. Like border style. Uh-uh. We can use a pseudo element for that and apply the same border radius as its parent. And actually, this is what I'm going to do. So, what it means, we're gonna have cards before element. We're gonna have position absolute element inside that has width 100% and height of 3 pixels, and the background color will be the color of the of the border. Please let me know in the comments if there is a better way to achieve that. Or actually I can just ask from the community. Cool. And also we need to apply that top is 0 and left is 0. And the parent of the or parent of that showed element needs to have position relative because we're using position absolute. And before pseudo element needs to have content. Yep. And border radius. Border radius is the same. Actually, we can inherit the border radius. Should be cool. No, I can't inherit it. Oh, not border radius, but border radius. No, border top left radius is 10 pixels or inherit. And border top right radius still doesn't work. Hmm. I'm a bit bamboozled. 10 pixels and 10 pixels. Mm, well, another way, an ugly way we can do it. Okay, I really thought it would work. But how we can do it is by setting border radius top left to 0, 0. And have top -3 pixels. Yep. And I guess the height should be more, it should be like 5 pixels. And I'm gonna remove the extra padding from here. Okay. Okay, that should do it. Okay, now we have the cards with borders. Um, I'm not. I'm sure there is a better way to achieve those borders, but I really can't come up with something better at the moment. So I'm just gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna rearrange some of the styles. Um, okay. Now we have cards in different colors, right? Or with different borders. So we could what we can actually do is this red will be the default, but we're gonna have cards with different colors. So we're gonna add like border color class. Hmm, like cards red or no? What do we need? We card green. Then we have cards yellow and card blue. And each of them will get separate pseudo element background color. Background color. And now I'm gonna copy the styles. Blue, okay, it's not yellow, it's orange. Let's make it according to the style guide. And red cyan. Oh, okay, I misunderstood the colors. Cyan or orange. And we also need blue. Now we can add those extra styles to the cards. So the first card will be cyan, card cyan. The second card will be red. Then we have cards yellow. And then we have cards orange. Something doesn't work. Card yellow. Oh yeah, card. Okay, I'm I'm stuck. Cyan, red, orange, blue. Cyan, red, orange, and blue. Should be correct. Yep, that's correct. Now all we have to do is insert images and you get the images. So let's start with the first one. It has this Karma supervisor. So let's start with supervisor. We're gonna get the image from our images folder and supervisor. The dimensions of that icon. I'm just gonna steal the height of the icon, so it's about 70 pixels. And I'm gonna say that card image width will be auto, but height must be 70 pixels. So the cards have similar height. Additionally, we can see that it should have, okay, that's why I'm gonna make a wrapper for the image. I don't want to apply like spacing styles for the image. So I'm gonna create a class called card image wrapper. So this card image wrapper will have a margin top. Card image wrapper, and it will have a margin top that's 40 pixels. And again, I'm adding this extra wrapper just because I don't want to apply spacing styles to the image element itself. Because I can have whatever inside that container now, and it will still be aligned properly. Okay, margin top. And card image wrapper, card image wrapper. Yep, and the content inside of it, all text align right should do the work. Yep. Okay, some copy pasting again. Sometimes I try to be too clever with this copy and pasting. Oh well, just gonna do it one by one. So we have team builder. We have icon for karma. And we should also have a calculator, icon calculator. Oh, seems ready. It's more or less ready, yeah. The opacity for the box shadow should be a bit lighter. Yeah, I'm quite pleased. Okay, you could play around to make it even more. To make it even more suitable, but for example, the font size of the card title. Card title, card history. What's with 6? No, it should be bigger. Yeah, that's better. Also, my icons are a bit bigger, so maybe we should adjust the height. My icon has height of 70 pixels, but here it's 65. Oh. It's nice to have this comparison, and by downloading the sketch file, it become much easier. But other than that, I'd say it's you could play around with the fonts also. Header 1, header 2, header 2 font size, header P, maybe let's try 16 pixel size. Yeah, I guess that's better. There seems to be a small margin error also, and I can remove that letter spacing that I thought I need. Again, margin from top needs to be just a bit bigger. Maybe 100. Even more. Yeah. In real life situation, I would actually just apply vertical center for that container. Maybe. Anyways, we have the desktop version ready, and let's quickly also do the mobile part. what I can see is that, well, the layout changes and the header font size changes. So what we can do is media. So we can start the mobile version from, I'm gonna do it from 960 pixels, max width, and from there we're gonna change the header styles. So header will be, how much will it be? If the card title was 20, well, let's make it 24. Let's see if it works. So this will just overwrite the styles in mobile. And I'm gonna use Chrome tools to check the styles. Yep, the new styles are applied. Another thing we have to do is set a padding for the container, because we want to have some padding or spacing on the sides. So what I will do, I will just add some padding, like 20 pixels, and box sizing, border box. Should look much better now. Style guides 375 pixels, and we also need to make our columns behave properly. So cards, and we now just want to have one column. Yep. Okay, and the margin top is too big now. So how much does it have to be? About 95 pixels. Let's put it to 95. Margin top is, well, we also have the padding, so it should be 75. And I guess the same could be applied to the footer. So I'm just gonna do margin 75 pixels and data. Beautiful. And oh, and yeah, we can also do Frontend Mentor coded by Get Marcelo Metz. And obviously I'm gonna redirect this link to our channel, Developer Habits. Cool. So yeah, that was the first coding challenge. I'm also gonna upload the solution so you can check it out, and I'm gonna post a link. But thank you for watching, and I really hope you learned something new. If you have suggestions for me, then please do let me know. Oh, and before we move away, let's run it through the markup validation. Oh my god, please. Yeah, we need alt attributes, alternative text attributes for accessibility. So let's do that also before we finish up. So I'm gonna try to be clever here. I'm gonna take the titles that we had in cards, and I'm gonna add them as alternative tags. Yes, now it should be better. And now if I check, yes, no warnings, no errors, nothing. So yeah, guys, that was the first challenge from Frontend Mentor, and I will probably continue doing them. So if this is something you're interested in, then please do hit the subscribe button below, and see you in the next video. Thank you.